Welcome back to Lempman's Cocktails for our Halloween special edition where we're going to talk about spooky spirits. These aren't Halloween cocktails, these are scary spirits that have scarred you from earlier drinking perhaps. For me, that is none other than the one and only Jägermeister. I'm sure we've all had some crazy, unpleasant experiences with in the past, but it's actually really delightful and it does make some great cocktails if you mix it up right. So I wanted to make two really delicious Jaeger cocktails today that aren't exactly Jaeger bombs or some other horrible college bar or small bar concoction that's made to get you drunk quick. I wanted to highlight the herbal tones of the Jaeger and see that it's actually a real liqueur that tastes pretty good and it doesn't have to be shot ice cold, but mine's ice cold just in case. So our first drink is going to be a stirred cocktail, which really classes up the Jaeger, I think. It's going to be a version of the Hanky Panky, and for that we're going to use some Punta Mez for our vermouth. We're going to use some Kiro gin, and then we're going to use the Jaeger. Let's go ahead and stir that up. 1.5 ounces of our sweet vermouth. 1.5 ounces of our gin. The main event, 1/4 ounce of Jägermeister. Drop in our ice, give it a stir. So we're gonna stir this for about 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds, depending on how long it takes to chill down. Typically for a Hanky Panky, you use Fernet instead of Jaeger, but I really wanted to highlight the Jaeger and I thought this would be a really good way to ease into drinking Jaeger in some classic cocktails. There we go. Go ahead and strain into our glass. For garnish, we're gonna do a nice orange peel. Just press that over the top. Give it a little wipe. Then we can just rest it right on top there. So here's our Jaeger Hanky Panky. I don't have a cool name for it. If you've got a suggestion, please leave a message in the comments. Let's give it a try. This is really delicious because, first of all, I love a sweet martini, which is sort of the basis of this, with a half and half sweet vermouth to gin. But the Jaeger brings that nice herbalness to it, and it doesn't really ring out of the college straight shots that you used to take of it, probably. It's really tasty, it's herbal, and the Jaeger is not as strong and in your face as Fernet would be, so it's a little bit more of an easy way to drink a Hanky Panky, I think. Let's try our next cocktail. Reconstructed Surfer on Acid. I saw this on Educated Barfly and it looked great. A traditional Surfer on Acid has pineapple juice, Jaeger, and coconut rum. I don't really like coconut, so this way with lime juice and orgeat really makes it seem a lot better to me. Let's get it mixed. First up, it's gonna be 1/2 ounce of orgeat. I'm using homemade orgeat. Next will be 1/2 ounce of lime juice. 1 ounce of pineapple juice. I'll admit I'm not using fresh, I'm using bottled Tropicana. 1 ounce of pineapple rum. I'm using Stiggins Fancy Rum from Plantation. And then the scary spirit itself, Jaeger. Let's add our ice and shake it up. That should be good. Now we're just gonna dump it straight into our glass. Then we'll just simply garnish that with a single pineapple frond. Surfside sip turtle straw seemed appropriate. Let's give it a try. This is way better than an original Surfer on Acid. One, because the coconut's not there, and two, I think the lime juice really helps to bring out all the pineapple and rum, and honestly the botanicals of the Jaeger are really delicious. This makes Jaeger not so scary anymore, really and truly. You really taste all the Jaegerness without it feeling rushed, and you really get to taste all the good herbs and botanicals of the Jaeger without it feeling so sickly sweet as sometimes a shot can do. This is really tasty and balanced, which is really surprising because there's 1 ounce of pineapple rum and 1 ounce of pineapple juice, yet the pineapple doesn't completely overwhelm all the flavors. A little bit of that nuttiness and smoothness from the orgeat is in there too, which helps to round it out and make this a really, really delicious cocktail. So we've made two very different but very delicious cocktails, both with Jaeger, so I hope that Jaeger is maybe not such a scary spirit for you anymore. Spooky no longer. Jägermeister is delicious. If you've got a Jaeger cocktail that you really like, that's not a Jaeger bomb, no Jaeger bombs. If you've got a Jaeger cocktail you really like, please leave a message in the comments because I'd love to hear about it as well. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Cheers, see you next time. I'm gonna drink some Jaeger.